My flight was canceled by Kiwi. Kiwi refused to give any specific refund. They provided me with two addresses, which doesn't seem to be real. The court was unable to use these addresses, so I went to your site. After that, about 60% was refunded. And now I am looking for the refund of the rest and $50 and legal expense, and insist that Kiwi provides the address, which so far they refuse to do. In December 2019, I booked my return flight to Czechia for medical treatment for April 2020. Sometimes in March 2020, Kiwi informed me by an email and message that due to some scheduled changes by the airlines, I have to reschedule my flight because this itinerary is not available anymore. So following this message, I went online to reschedule and saw the following message. Your itinerary was changed by the airline, but don't worry, we have at least one alternative option for you. So I tried to use this option. I actually pushed an appropriate button, and only to see that unfortunately no rescheduling is possible, and the only two options are refunds. The first refund option was getting immediately $110. And let me tell you that I paid $514 for the itinerary and $40 extra for a special seat reservation. And another option was just to rely on Kiwi's best effort to resolve it with the airlines. However, in either case, I would forfeit any right of a further claim. Because the flight has effectively been canceled by Kiwis, I checked the terms and conditions again and say that they, in their terms and conditions, they promise either provide an alternative itinerary or fully refund the price. Because they couldn't provide an alternative flight, I wanted to get a full refund, or at least to negotiate the refund with Kiwi. I contacted Kiwi with the website and sent them a couple of emails asking them to contact me and discuss the refund. So Kiwi just kept responding me, reiterating these two refund options as the only remedy. So in this case, I didn't have another option but initiate a chargeback with the Citibank, my credit card company through which I paid my flight. So next day, right after initiating this dispute in April 2020, I received a refund of $30 for additional seat only, and congratulations that refund has done. I kept writing in emails, and like in a week, I received an email from Kiwi which contained an embedded video in which contained the address of Kiwi CEO, Mr. Oliver Bluchy, where in this video he addressed the customers whose flights had been canceled. He explained that usually in such situation, Kiwi immediately reimburses fully the customers and then waits to collect the funds from the airline. But in this case of massive cancellations, they are unable to do it right now because they are short of cash right now, and this is a very special period. So I continued sending emails. I have sent altogether 10 emails, and I wanted Kiwi to contact me and to discuss the refund options. I meant to say that I can agree on some partial refund, but not only 20% or their best effort. And also, I saw on internet that people who actually agreed on their best effort after that waited for long months and haven't received anything from Kiwi. As a response to my dispute, Kiwi sent a letter, which I'm going to resend it to you to see separately, saying that this is me who initiated the rescheduling, that in this case, I am not familiar with the terms and conditions, that this is a force majeure situation, and then that I failed to to contact the airlines directly. So none of the three issues was actually valid, because first of all, as I said it to you, the terms and conditions are saying that you fully protect the flight, and they will either reschedule it in case of any delays of consultation or fully refund. Then, sometimes by their policy, Kiwi gives customers a chance to contact the airlines and collect their refunds, but they refuse to meet these options by themselves. And third, the airlines and all four airlines serving the four legs of my flight, Boston, Prague, and return, actually fully agreed to return the money, and some of them, like Norwegian airline, actually even offered one voucher worth of 120%, of course. Nothing of that was given to me. And about force majeure, the EU, and I also sent you this document, ordered all European airlines, and all four airlines were European airlines, not only to fully refund the customers if the flight was canceled, but refund fully all the flights, which even the customer canceled due to COVID. So in this case, because none of the reason is valid, I consulted a local lawyer, specialist in consumer protection, who told me that I only need to go to court. I went to Boston Municipal Court and filed a complaint. And in this complaint, I used the address in Miami, Florida, which was provided by Kiwi.com in their response to my charge back, and it was addressed to Citicom, again, my banker. So when I went to a hearing, I learned from the court that for this letter, for this address, the service was rejected. So I contacted by the phone Kiwi.com, and they gave me their official address, an address in Delaware. I also called the Citibank, and they reiterated the same address. And on internet, I also found this address in Delaware as the company's official address. So I contacted the court and gave this address. And the next hearing was scheduled. When I came to the next hearing, I learned that this address it's impossible to deliver correspondence to this address. Then I checked on internet, and I saw that quite a few customers complained that they couldn't reach Kiwi using this address. So in this situation, just in March of this year, 2021, I turned to PissedConsumer and sent a message to Kiwi. Within 10 days, Kiwi issued a refund of some 65% of the charge, slightly above $300, and explained that the delay was caused because I failed to initiate one of the refund options. So your service was extremely helpful in retrieving 2/3 of the cost. Then I contacted Kiwi.com and since that I still ask them to provide the official address because I do not see why they do not want to honor their terms and conditions. And also that I find that my claim to the court, I actually to this claim, I include $50 of filing charges. And so I asked them to give their official address. In response, I get their official address in Brno, it's in Moravia, Czechia. So, I responded to this message and said that they are incorporated in this country. So I expect them to have the official address in this country. And I kindly ask you, either provide me with their official address at which correspondence can be delivered, and which can be used by the court, or state me that they do not have an official address in the United States. I sent this email about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard from Kiwi yet. So right now, I am looking for ways to find the official refund. Also, because one of the customer protection firms in Boston contacted me about this case. They did some investigation of Kiwi.com, and they agreed actually to take my case and pursue this case without any upfront charges from me, so that all the expenses would be paid from the proceeds of the case. They also told me that it may be necessary to hire a private investigator in order to find Kiwi's real official address. So, but at this moment, I will be just pursuing a more easy options to find the official address and give it to the court. As I said, I had exchanged 10 back and forth email messages back in March, April, May, something like that last year, saying that I want them to honor their conditions and that I do not want to rely on just 2 options of refund, because these options were not in the initial term and conditions. I heard about them the first time just when it happened. And I understand that it's a difficult time for them, but we can at least negotiate a refund. And 10 times they have reiterated the following thing. Dmitry, please understand, we are not the airlines company. We do not know, and I cite almost precisely. We don't own airports, which was a little bit funny for me, aircrafts, and any other equipment. So the best we can do for you, we can get back to the airlines and collect whatever is possible to collect. And I said that please contact me by the phone. I am okay at that stage a year ago to get some partial refund, but not just 20%. And this is that. So after like 11th email, they stopped answering me. And also, just as I mentioned, at some point I received an email with embedded video from their CEO, Mr. Pluki, saying, honoring that yes, usually in this situation, when we are unable to reschedule, we would immediately refund 100%. But due to the force majeure, we can't do it because we have to pay our requests, do many things, and so on. And this is why I said, okay, I can agree to postpone of the refund, to allowing this portion, and I wrote about that, but I haven't received any answers. Then, when City.com contacted them, I understand via the phone, Kiwi.com told me that this is I who actually canceled my flight. And so City said, in this situation, we can't do much. I explained that no, I didn't cancel this flight. It was done by Kiwi. I tried to reschedule it or refund or whatever. This what happened. And I sent and I sent a detailed letter to my credit card. And the response from Kiwi to the Citibank, which I am going to forward to you, gives three reasons, which all I find false, and you will see it. They're saying that this is my fault for all the reasons, and they gave me the address, which doesn't seem to be a real address. And after that, I had communications where where I insist on company to giving me their local address, and when I requested them to confirm that they do not have such address in the United States, because they insist that they have their official address only overseas, I wanted to state this fact. And since I made this request 2 weeks ago, I haven't heard from him. Full refund of the amount and $50 of my legal expense to file the case against Kiwi. And the full amount, which hasn't been refunded, is $514. Of course, some 300 plus were refunded, so I'm talking about the difference between the charge and refund.